My top 10 resources for collecting autographs through the mail coming up. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday. I'm really glad that you had the opportunity, or rather, I had the opportunity to make this video today. It has warmed up a little bit in Iowa right now. It's almost 40 degrees, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but compared to one of the days last week when it only got up to like -2, it is enough for me to have the window open just a little bit. But hey, I have a special video for you today since it is Sunday, so there are no TTMs today. It's a video I've been thinking about doing for a while, but for whatever reason, I just haven't done it, and that's because there's a lot of flack that gets thrown around for Patreon and for Patreon, let's show it how it is, or showing ads before your videos, and I get it, but what I wanted to do, I sound like, I don't know what I sounded like, but hey, what I wanted to do, and what I've been trying to get up the nerve to do, is put together a small video and show you guys some of the stuff that pretty much is the staple of autograph collecting, at least through the mail. And in doing so, there are products here on this video that link to Amazon, and I'm going to be full disclosure for you that I get like pennies if you actually buy from those links. But if you missed this video and was like, hey, didn't Troy talk about that thing? You can always go to my website at ttmautograph.com, and I'll have these same resources up there for you as well. But so with all the brouhaha over one of the family channels about using Patreon, I just never felt right doing this video. But I decided that with my TTM tips that I do on this channel and everything, that some people might need a jump start on how to get started collecting autographs. And this also applies in a lot of ways to card collecting as well. So it's kind of like an autograph and a card collecting supply type video. So hopefully you guys enjoy, or at least if you don't enjoy this video, stay tuned for the next ones, because I'll be back to regular TTMs before you know it. So coming up at number 1, I am a little bit biased about this resource, and that is Autograph Collecting Secrets, a book I wrote a couple of years ago. I really put a lot of the things that, most of the things that I know about collecting TTM in this book, and it has, I've gotten a lot of positive responses for it. I've been told it's a quick read. I've been told it's a very quick read, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest, but it was a lot of fun to write, and it was just something that was kind of needed. You know, a lot of people have talked about the Jack Smalling autograph books over the years, which are mainly addresses and, a little bit of how-to about through the mail autograph collecting, and I just wanted to do something better. And so I took a lot of photographs, I did some drawings, I put together some of my best tips into this book, and it's actually available on Amazon as a paperback, as a Kindle version, or if you like hearing me talk, you can actually listen to it on the road through audible.com, and you can find all of those links on the Amazon page that I've linked below. So I know I'm a little biased here, but check out Autograph Collecting Secrets by Troy Rutter. That's me, and I'm sure you might find something that you didn't know. Next, we have top loaders and penny sleeves. Now, you can buy top loaders and penny sleeves at pretty much any store, including your local card shop, which I strongly encourage you to patronize. In other words, support your local card shop. But sometimes you just need a little bit more. And so this last order that I did, I actually did a full case of Ultra Pro top loaders, and I still have a ton of those left. But when I want to buy them in smaller amounts, there's this one seller on Amazon that sells 200 top loaders with the 200 penny sleeves for $20. And I think that's a pretty good deal. So if you wanted to get these Ultra Pro top loaders, I always go with Ultra Pro. I know some people swear by BCW because they're cheaper and you can't tell the quality. I can tell the quality, and it's nothing against BCW. They do have a good product as well. But this deal that I tell you is for regular 3x4 top loaders and the Ultra Pro 200 top loaders that I have found on Amazon that I've ordered multiple times. You can find those for about $20.98 as of this video coming out, or about around $20. So definitely recommend getting this bundle. It's something that I always buy, and I never use all the penny sleeves for some reason. I always get more penny sleeves than I have a use for. So you could always just bank the penny sleeves if you want. There you go. So that's my recommendation for my top loader pick. Ultra Pro and the special 200 count bundle. Speaking of Ultra Pro, they are my favorite brand of pages. Whether it's, Ultra Pro. When I first discovered Ultra Pro pages, I was using kind of cheap pages that you might find in Walmart or Target, although now they sell Ultra Pro as well, or even the awful ones at Hobby Lobby or even Staples. They were just awful. And then for 8x10s, I found the Ultra Pro Platinum 1 pockets, and these were awesome. And I used those for years in my 8x10s until I went to another product. Now, for Ultra Pro, I definitely recommend the Platinum pages. They have so many different qualities, including silver and their standard pages, but I like their Platinum series products the best. They're the highest grade and the clearest, in my opinion. I did make a mistake and buy the silvers recently, and they're just not quite the same. They're a little more flimsy, so definitely go with the Ultra Pro Platinum series, and you can find a link to those down below here as well. My next recommended resource for TTMers is actually monster boxes. Now, I love monster boxes. You can get monster boxes that are like 5 rows, that hold 5 rows of cards, or even just 2 rows, or you've seen them. They're not really called monster boxes if it's 1 row, but you can actually get the 5-row monster boxes are what I use the most. And those will fit regular top loader cards. Now, you have to really be careful because some of the really cheap monster boxes that you buy won't handle the top loaders. And so the rows are too small, and you run a risk of kind of bending the cards when you have them in. And so you definitely want to get the best monster boxes. And so what you want to do is, if you have a local card shop, take some of your top loaders and just make sure that they fit in the monster boxes. I'm also going to link up some of the monster boxes that I buy on Amazon. They are a little crazy. When you get monster boxes through Amazon, they come flat. Obviously, they're not put together, but they're this huge, or I'm not going to get into politics, but huge flat mailer that comes from Amazon. And it's a little ridiculous, to be honest with you. But you put it together, and the ones that I've linked in this video are the best quality ones that I have found and that I use, because the quality really does suffer at times in terms of monster boxes. Sometimes the flaps, when you put it together, don't lock down into the cardboard, and just some of them don't work very well. So if you go to your local card shop, ask to see one that's assembled. Usually they have some actually pre-assembled there. Take some of your top loaders and put them in. Most of the standard boxes won't fit slabbed cards. You would actually have to get a special monster box just for slabbed cards. But regular top loaders should work fine in most monster boxes. But definitely, if you're trying out a new brand, take some top loaders with you to your local card shop. So that's all I have to say about monster boxes. I think they're awesome. I go back and forth. When one starts wearing out, I'll just buy another one and transfer things in there and use the old ones for, I don't know, TTM fuel, or just some cards that I have stashed away. So there you go. Coming up at number 5, but what should be a number -2 to get it up higher, I guess, and that is envelopes. So the next two recommended resources are actually envelopes and or envelopes, as some people say. So the first envelope that we need when we're doing TTM autographs is the standard number 10 envelope. And you can get these anywhere. They have them in boxes of even 25, they have boxes of 50, they have boxes of 100. And then from 100, they actually jump up to 500 in one box. Now, if you take your chances at a local store, let's say your local Walmart or Target, what you're looking for are the self-seal envelopes and or Staples or Office Depot. The problem is in smaller quantities, these envelopes are actually really expensive if you only buy 25 or 50. So what I recommend you do is actually go to a club like Costco or Sam's Club and get a 500 count box. And what you're looking for, again, are the self-seal envelopes. And this is because it's just a lot handier when you're doing multiple TTMs to just rip the sealer off and just put it closed like that. So definitely look for the self-seal envelopes. If you have to and you're on a budget, the gummed envelopes will work just fine as well. Which means coming up to number 6 are the other envelopes that you need to sign or send TTM. Now you're perfectly fine with trying to fold another number 10 envelope inside of a number 10 envelope, but that gets kind of messy, and the best way to send TTMs, in my opinion, is to use what's called a 6 3/4 envelope. They're a smaller size, which is sometimes they're called reply envelopes because that's what they do, is businesses put them inside of a normal envelope. And so 6 3/4 envelopes can be found pretty much everywhere now. But again, if you go to Walmart or go to Target, you're going to find little packages of like 25, maybe even 10, and they're going to be so expensive. You want to go to Costco or Sam's Club and even Staples, but Staples are kind of expensive too, or Office Depot, and buy the self-seal 6 3/4 envelopes. 500 box and you're good to go. Next is something I could not live without, and that is labels. Labels, labels, labels. Now, I use return address labels both for my return address and for my self-addressed stamped envelope actual address. So they're little tiny labels. They're about 30 labels on a sheet, I believe. Maybe even more if you get the return address labels. It might be like 90 on a sheet or something like that. But whether you get the smaller ones or the bigger ones, you want to make sure that they'll fit on your envelope, which should not be a problem. But you can get small packages of these labels, again, for $4 at your local Walmart for like 10 pages, or you could get larger quantities. Personally, I either buy from Amazon smaller, like 10 pages, because they last a long time, or I just go to my local Walmart and I'll buy return address labels there. Now, it might take a little bit to get the address labels to print right in your printer. So what you want to do the very first time, if you're changing the label that you're using, you put a blank sheet of paper through your printer, print out your labels, and just hold them up to the light and make sure everything looks okay. But these labels are awesome. Some people actually get the address rolls, like your mom and grandma probably had, 1,000 labels on a roll where you have your name on it and maybe a little baseball, something like that. But I just go with regular labels from Walmart or Amazon, as you'll find down below, and that is what I use for my return address labels. This next tool is kind of like my hidden secret. So whenever you write a letter of request and sign it, in this video, I'm not going to get into handwritten or typed. That is a conversation that we have talked about a lot on the Autographers Anonymous podcast. I always type, in case you're wondering. That's just me. So what I always do is I write the person's address on the number 10 envelope in blue pen. And then I also sign the letter, if I type it, in blue pen. And that is just because with printers as good as they are right now, if you use a black pen, sometimes it could show the person that you're writing that that might be a mass-produced letter. And even if it is a mass-produced letter that you're using for your letter of request, using a blue pen shows that, hey, at least someone actually manually signed it. You weren't like printing them off, hundreds of letters of requests with your signature actually on the letter and just sending them that way. So I always, and here's the resource for you, use a blue ink pen as the address for who you're sending to and also to sign your letter. And maybe even write something else on the letter like, sorry, I typed this, my handwriting is awful, blah, 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 blah. Be real. Make it real. And so that is this TTM tip. Next, we have a resource that I haven't used too often lately, but when I did use it, I got back successes from JJ Watt, Luke Kuechly, and a lot of different huge stars in sports, okay? And these are little tiny square labels that you could buy, well, down below, or at Walmart or Staples or Office Depot or Office Max, wherever you get your office supplies. Now, what you want to do with these square labels is print the team logo or some other thing to do with the team that or person that you're writing to, and you print that on the label, and then you use that label to sign or to put on the back of your envelope. This kind of adds a personal touch to your envelope, and I've seen, I forget who it was on Instagram, who put all these stickers like, hey, howdy, I love you, and stuff like that. I personally haven't gone that far. Some of them were pretty crazy, the way that they were trying to get Aaron Judge to sign their items, but hey, we will see if it works when those TTMs come back, right? But definitely, if you're looking for that little extra edge, using these square labels that are basically, you can make stickers out of them and putting them on the back of your envelope is a good idea. You could even use stickers that you've gotten in your vintage wax packs for that same purpose. So that is my number 9 tip, labels to use as stickers. And coming up to number 10 is actually one of the most important things you can do as far as sending autographs through the mail, and that is stamps. Everybody needs stamps when you're collecting autographs through the mail. Not a question. You need one stamp to go there, one stamp to go back, and the best place to get stamps, yep, you guessed it, the post office. Now, there are some people that you'll hear about in the TTM community and who buy stamps on eBay for a reduced price. And if you want to try that, that is your prerogative. But I always buy rolls of stamps either at the post office, which is a good place, obviously, the post office kiosk that'll print the stamps right on these adhesive sheets for you, or you can get them at Sam's Club and Costco for the $55 for 100. So get your stamps. Again, that is for United States people. I know this is a global collecting community, but hey, I kind of am U.S. centric from that point. Most of my stuff about sending stamps is, or sending TTMs is U.S. based because that's where I am, and that is where a lot of my viewers are from. So stamps, go nuts within your means. But I do not subscribe to anything like stamps.com that charges a $10 fee or whatever it is these days for a monthly membership. I just buy real stamps from the post office, and it has never failed me yet. So I don't have a link for stamps, I don't think, but hey, maybe I do. I don't know. But go to your local post office and get your stamps. So anyway, those are my top 10 resources for collecting autographs through the mail. Let me know down below if you have any additional suggestions, whether it's paper, other pens, whether you send a Sharpie, whatever. Let me know if these resonate with you or if you have any other recommendations. And again, if you click on the links down below in the video with links to these resources, I get a couple pennies from Amazon for everything that you'll buy from there. So just a full disclosure there, and if you do, I really appreciate it. If you have bought my book, on Amazon, or even if you haven't bought it on Amazon, I would appreciate an Amazon review if you do buy it. That would be awesome. I currently have 26 reviews, and I appreciate each and every one of those. And hopefully, I'll be able to get some more reviews up on there because I put a lot of time and effort into it. And the response that I've gotten from you, the card and TTM community, has just been awesome. I'm not sure I can update it. All the things in it are still valid, but definitely check it out because that is still my #1 resource. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know President's Day is coming up and there'll be no mail on that day, but we have got a few months here, spring training starting. Hopefully those TTMs start coming back in. I know I have gotten from people who have left their cards at the stadium last year. Some of those are coming in, but I haven't gotten my first real 2020 spring training request in, but hopefully that'll come in soon. So thank you so much. Support your other YouTubers here on YouTube, and may your mailboxes be full and your stamps forever. Bye-bye.